From Cantrell Stadium and Dorsey Field on the campus of McEachern High School in suburban Atlanta, it is the Class 6A Boys State Soccer Championships in the Georgia High School Association, featuring the top-ranked team in Class 6A, the Grayson Rams, and they are going up against the number 2 seed out of region number 3, the Campbell Spartans, and the Campbell Spartans are here, and they are in force this evening. Jarrett Smith alongside myself, John Nelson. Jarrett, when you look at this particular matchup, what sticks out in your mind with these two teams?
Well, I'm honestly looking to see if Campbell can continue this run here and what Grayson brings to the table. Should be a really fun matchup. Should be, again, we talked about in the first game, really physical matchup with emotional control being, again, so important in these games. Looking at a matchup like this, though, let's take a look at where everybody came from to get here. With Campbell, it's originally going over Heritage, then taking down Lambert. And it took out Discovery to get here, then Duluth. And for Campbell, it's about putting goals on the board. It's a team that scores goals consistently, and it's a team that has been able to limit opportunities for others. And then for Grayson, John, what do you see?
When you look at Grayson coming out of the top and being the top-ranked team on the scoreboard rankings, your region champ, shutting out Hillgrove. So having things happen on Macklin Road is not necessarily a surprise for Grayson so far. You start your playoffs there, you end your playoffs
This is new Macklin Road.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, Hillgrove is up that way as you're pointing up the left-hand side here.
Get a rock out and throw it.
Yes, Grayson, no problems with Meadow Creek. Grayson then beats Tequila 2-1. Then it took a while, but they ended up knocking off Mill Creek to get to the last game coming out of the upper left bracket here in Class 6A. So Grayson comes out of the upper left. Campbell comes out of the upper left as your 2 seed out of Region 3, and that's where we are here for Class 6A boys.
And it feels like for Grayson, this is we're supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
For Campbell, this is we came out as a 2 seed. You may not have expected us here, but we're here, and we might as well cause some noise while we're here.
So let's take a peek at, we talked about the paths and everything for Campbell once again. Campbell, as they have made their way through, 3-2 Heritage Conyers, 2-1 over Lambert. Discovery, one of the Cinderellas here in the playoffs. Region 8's number 4 seed, knocked off number 5 Carrollton and then beat Marietta, number 10 ranked, before being shut out by Campbell 5-0, and then Campbell over Duluth by the score of 3-1. And you had that stretch where it was 3 matches in 10 days to get to this particular match. And so that schedule compression, you wonder about it. When you look at Campbell coming in as the 2 seed, what do you think?
Again, it's going to be how do you continue to kind of put goals in the back of the net? As much as we talk about that big 0, and look how much that 0 mattered in the last game.
No doubt.
You keep them out of the goal, that's great. Keeping Grayson out of the back of the net is going to be tricky. It's not to say that it can't be done, but it's going to be tough. And for Campbell, it's going to start with Piero Capelletti. With Piero Capelletti being that hoss up top, the senior, asking him to go make something happen. And I think if you can get something out of him, Campbell puts themselves in a good position, because this is one of those games, John, the longer it stays tight, you wait to see somebody flinch. And I think if you're the underdog, and if you feel like the underdog, and the stats tell you you're the underdog, then, go make it happen.
You have the progression, right? You have the procession right now. Everybody heading out to center circle. You have dress black with white numerals. You want to talk about a minimalist approach, just focused on the task at hand. Then you have Grayson. White tops, the Grayson green, black shorts, white socks. But for the Spartans, it is a Spartan look, no doubt. It is black tops, black shorts, black socks, white numbers. That is it.
And for those of you that don't know, Campbell isn't that far away from here. It's out there on right off Windy Hill Road. Campbell brought a standing army with them in the stands.
Campbell at 13-6, Grayson 21-1, top-ranked Grayson coming into this matchup. Campbell, when we look at the starting lineups, we'll start with the Campbell Spartans. Eric Clay in net, the junior. Andrew Balakoon on defense. Alessio Lois in midfield. Jackson Sherfield in midfield. Henry Schliesting in midfield wearing number 8. J.C. Carpenter wearing number 10. Gavin Banks is the one switch from the lineup that we anticipated from head coach Troy Connolly. Aaron Ozkanak was injured last time out, and so injured in the last round, and so you end up with Ozkanak out, Gavin Banks 11 in, Jacob Crane 13, Miles Russell wearing 14, Piero Capoletti, as Jarrett mentioned, wearing 17, Misha Dahlin wearing 21 on defense. So for Campbell and Troy Connolly, it's a 3-5-2. For Grayson, it's a 4-4-2 for head coach John Heck. Danny Muhic in net, Andrew Seward wearing 3, Callan Freeman wearing number 4, Emmanuel Amidi wearing number 5, Nebu Samuel wearing number 8, Grant Cooper wearing number 10, Total Adeyemi wearing number 11, Brandon Poole wearing 12, Joaquin Toledo wearing 14, Reed Nardello 15, Manidu Kamara wearing 19. It's a 4-4-2 for head coach John Heck. Adeyemi leads them with 28 goals on the season and 14 assists. Amidi with 26 and 3. 2 other double-digit goal scorers, Samuel with 12 and 9, Kamara with 11 and 8. Nardello has 4 goals but 18 assists. He is first on the team in assists. Adeyemi with 14 to go with the 28 goals. Toledo is third on the team in assists. So you have 4 double-digit goal scorers for Grayson Jarrett. You have 3 double-digit assist leaders for Grayson. And Muhic in net, a goals against so far this season, averaging about 2 saves a match, a goals against at .687.
And for those of you that didn't put all the math together, that's okay. First of all, it's 22 games so far. Grayson has 108 goals in 22 games.
Yep.
They'll put up numbers.
Averaging about 5 and giving up a half or 2/3 of a goal per.
All of that is great. We're going to see in just a minute, John, how much it matters. 80 minutes to decide this championship. And the stadium is lit for it because you have a school from just down the road. We ran into this last year, John. I know you weren't here for the game, but we had Sprayberry in a state championship here. And again, Sprayberry not far away from here.
Yep.
Brought a huge contingent of fans. And the energy coming off of that far sideline with the fans right now is very real.
2 other championship games going on that got the head start because they were decided in regulation. Quad A boys going on at Duluth right now, Marist and Westminster. Class A Division II boys, Atkinson County and Lake Oconee Academy. Mateen Rod on the call on the NFHS network down at Mercer-Macon for Class A D2 boys. Jason Longshore, Madison Cruz on the call for Class Quad A boys at Duluth for Marist and Westminster. On the 1s and 2s here at McEachern, it is Ian Russell and Johnny Doherty. And alongside Jarrett Smith, I am John Nelson, ready to give you the 6A Boys Championship, day 3 of 4, and we're underway here from McEachern. Campbell is going from right to left in the first 40 minutes. Grayson going from left to right. Played inside the 18, early touch for Andrew Seward. Tracking it down, kept in Reed Nardello, but they say no, he didn't keep it in.
Almost was able to, Loon, a little bit over the line. So, we saw this in the last game, John. If you can come out early and set the tone, you try and do it. That was that long ball that led to a throw in at first, that led to a little bit of a mistouch, and then a chance to put some pressure on here for Campbell. Balogun
at the edge of the turf, where the turf meets the cement wrapping and the drainage. Going to go long with the throw toward the top of the 6, headed up into the air. Headed clear by Grayson. It was Samuel. Trying to track it down as Miles Russell. 1v2. Grayson tries to win possession. They thought that there should have been a foul call. Ooh. Didn't get a whistle there. Stepping forward, a couple of quick passes up the left-hand side, crossing it over. Big switch is there to Joaquin Toledo. Toledo slips on the surface, popped up into the air by Misha Dahlin, but Grayson ends up with it once again. Dahlin's second swing Couldn't quite get it flush, and it'll end up being a throw for Grayson, 10 yards shy of center line. Joaquin Toledo doing the honors. Toledo with the throw, now up the right-hand side. Amidi toward the edge of the 18, stutter step, chipped with the left, headed up and away but not out. 5 Spartans are there, sent up the elevator shaft. Jared, I think you were supposed to grab that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was Butterfingers. My fault. I'll be better next time.
2 minutes in, first opportunity in the attacking third for Grayson. Toledo pulled it short with the throw toward the top of the 18. Head of steam for Campbell. Gavin Banks started this up and over the top. Tracking it down is Seward, and he will roll it to Muhique. And the frosted tips of Danny Muhique will hang on to it for a little bit.
It was a tricky situation there a moment ago because Amedi gets it on the right-hand side for Grayson. I think he wanted to go with the early cross, but there were no bodies in, so he had to bring it back. It's that little backspin chip that gets cleared out of there. I think he's looking for it first time, but if there's no one there, then nothing really you can do with it.
Headed up into the air. Grayson's center circle. Nardello was trying to get it over to the left-hand side. He finally does to Kamara. Kamara cuts it in. Back line for Campbell is there for the block. Quick transition. Bounced off of Seward. And Toledo is there to calm things down.
Contentious so far. John in the midfield. It's about what you would expect. It's going to be a physical matchup. It's going to be interesting to see who handles it better physically in the midfield. And we saw it a couple times already. Grayson able to get the ball on the turf, able to kind of switch play and take some of the pressure off of themselves with this long ball right here.
Banks the big swing. Seward
wait for it.
Seward keeping an eye on it. Muhique is just waiting for it to cross into his 18. High up into the air. Elevator hit the 4th floor, comes all the way back down. Nicely done by Kamara. Off of the first touch, in control. Callan Freeman. Freeman tries to go through center logo, looking into the middle for Adeyemi. Up and over, headed. Nicely done there by control for Gavin Banks. Adeyemi, honestly, looks like he could get some work in the fall for the reigning state champs on the other football Fridays.
Who's to say he isn't?
I have to ask the coach about that.
A lot of spring games going on right now, John.
I have to ask Santavius Bryant if you have consulted with Coach Heck about Tolu Adeyemi. 35 yards away from the far side corner flag. Popped up into the air by Campbell's defense. Schliesting will usher it back to Eric Clay. 5 minutes gone, no score. Clay got out the hybrid, and it went right to Andrew Seward. Nebu Samuel dispossessed. Nicely done there by Jackson Sherfield. Sherfield head up. Tries to keep possession and lay into the tackle. He's wondering why the foul was called on him, but it was.
Oh, no foul at all.
No foul at all? Okay.
No foul at all. We went throw-in. Again, it's going to be physical. You got to manage those moments. You got to manage the physicality and not get so wrapped up in whatever tackle you may or may not have suffered, and keep your wits about you, keep your positioning, keep your shape. Don't want to hurt your team just because you're hurting physically. J.C.
Carpenter trying to fight once, twice, and 3 times to try to keep possession. He can't quite do it. Scooped good ahead. Ball. Nicely done there. Good ball to Nardello. Nardello, pressure from behind by Jacob Crane. Nicely done to prevent the corner.
It's great from Jacob Crane. It's good to get a touch in there. Nositz came off of him. Goes in to finish the job.
Toledo, right on. Easy grab. Eric Clay.
Eric Clay, the junior, manning his area nicely. Hey, those sure-handed simple plays are simple until they're not.
especially in this environment.
It is, and the electricity is such in this game as here goes Grayson breaking down the left.
Samuel with the lead, now inside the 18. Couple of stutter steps off the crossbar.
Well, there's your first warning shot from Grayson.
You aren't kidding. Lois looking to Miles Russell. J.C. Carpenter tries to get it away from Toledo.
I will tell you what, though, if Campbell goes down here and scores in a bit, we might have to stop and do a structural test on the stands.
And the first time that we've actually had an encouragement for a player to come forward for a throw.
Hey, it's the first time for everything.
You're not far enough forward. Trying to draw the foul was Lois. Didn't happen. Amidi, left-hand side edge of the
Flag's
18,
up.
full head of steam, but the flag is up.
He put it up pretty early. Nobody noticed because the energy of the game. Also, Campbell wanted the foul just past midfield going the other way with the turnover. The flag came up pretty quickly. He was confident in the decision. Nobody saw it because everyone was looking at the moment of opportunity.
So 35 yards away. Big launch to the edge of the 18. Opportunity here for Campbell. Toledo steps in the way. Chance, wind with the right, blocked. Campbell's first close call of the match 9 minutes in.
It's a good block there to step in the way to block it off. And, man, those long balls are so risky, John, especially on this turf surface where that ball's going to hit and then take a bounce forever. And it's going to take forever to come down, and you don't know where it's going to come down.
Nope.
And you don't want to take that risk.
Alessio Lois wearing one of the captain's armbands on the night. Outswinger with the right.
This is an inbound stack from Campbell.
Crowded bunch. Pulled out the 3-iron. Cleared away by the defense of Grayson. Entry pass knocked away by Nebu Samuel.
3-iron for you. That's how I hit a driver.
That's true. And you get more distance than I do. Ends up now as a throw for the Spartans. 15 yards away from the far side corner flag. Here, 10th minute, no score. Long throw, flick header.
Man, those long headers those long throw-ins, are so tricky to deal with because as an attacking player, yeah, you can do that. You can flick that header back towards the post. If you're defending, it's so hard to get the energy redirected away from your goal because the ball's not coming with as much pace. You have to provide so much energy to get it away. It's tough to deal with those long throw-ins in such an attacking position.
Misha Dahlin, one of the senior co-captains, was the one responsible for the header. Balakun tried to go down the right-hand side. Defense was there for Grayson. But it ends up as a throw 20 yards inside the attacking half over on the far side. Working quickly, Callan Freeman had the clearance. And the Rams running up the left-hand side. Bit of a yank from behind. You get the whistle.
Not a bad foul to give there, though, because he's gotten past you. He's going to have room to run to try and create a transition opportunity, but you're so far back that you're not going to get a yellow card for stopping an obvious transition. That's fine.
Muhik surveys. 55 yards in the air. Big swing by Dahlin trying to clear it. Can't. Second chance up and over the top, but once again Samuel is there, or Seward is there, and he'll just clear it away. It'll be a throw for Campbell, 20 yards or so away from the far side corner flag. And it will be Balakun who will do the honors. Asking for a ruling.
Same situation again, John. It's that long throw in.
Balakoon, couple of steps, goes long and high, arcing throw. Header flicked once and twice, cleared away. And now finally, second chance is out, but closing the distance. Nicely done there. Big shot blocked. Chance was there. Balakoon following up on the play.
Campbell's emotions running real high right now, John. That's part of that what that crowd gives you is that emotional high. You come in with the tackle there. You wanted it to come your way. And then Grayson, just an unforced error.
Thirteenth minute, goalless. Balakoon in front of his student section, right near center line. Headed up into the air, headed into play. Adeyemi defended nicely. Into the middle of the park. Chance for Piero Cappelletti. He wanted to wind up and go. Shot was stood up by Seward. And Seward will pursue. That's the first real mention that we've had of Cappelletti. He's been contained for the most part here in the first 13 minutes.
I wouldn't expect that to continue, though, John. I mean, as what he can give you, Campbell's going to want to find a way to get him loose, and especially on throw-ins like this, if you can set a pick, create an opportunity for him to get free, and then also watch out for any second ball coming back into the box.
Balakoon headed up into the air once and twice. First by Seward, second out of the 18. Nicely done by Sherfield. Back to Jacob Crane on the logo. Too much for Cappelletti. A couple of quick, easy hops, and it goes to Muhik.
So one thing to watch on those long throw-ins, John, is they keep putting a body in front of Muhik, and he has tried to come out and get two of those long throw-ins and has not been able to get to it because he is trying to climb over a big body and has been unable to do so. So keep an eye on that. As you get those long throw-ins from Campbell, that they are going to be able to try and put it in a dangerous spot where he might have to come get it, might not get it, and you have an open goal mouth that if it's not cleared quickly and efficiently, it's going to create a dangerous opportunity.
Trying to go over the top. Russell should be trying to go chase. Hand fighting. And they're going to say that Russell touched it last. It'll be a goal kick for Grayson.
And Russell just didn't give up on it. You know, he's trying to get shielded out of there, and Russell refused to be shielded out. And we saw it earlier with the crossbar hit. It felt like Grayson was ramping themselves up, John, but ever since that happened, Campbell has just been ready to go.
Cappelletti upended. Campbell supporters wanting a whistle, don't get it. Dahlin now having to defend, and he'll just send it out. You're going to get a corner. And it looks like Manidu Kamara will be the one to take. Sixteenth minute, no score. Top-ranked Grayson chasing after a state title.
Good call to foul.
Seward using Dahlin, I guess, to
it was like an Acme pogo stick.
Yeah, climb the ladder. Or actually Cappelletti to climb the ladder, but yes, nevertheless. Seward.
Cappelletti's had a hard last few minutes. He's gotten knocked around a lot.
Yep. Callan Freeman challenging once and twice. Sherfield tried to send it forward. J.C. Carpenter on the turn. He's pulled the string a couple of different times, tried to chip it. And the only folks there were Grayson defenders. Adeyemi. Nardello calling for it. Finally gets it 40 yards from goal. Cuts it inside. Nicely done. Nardello tried to cut it to his left foot. Jacob Crane is there. Too much for Miles Russell and a throw for Grayson.
Man, that's great determination as well by Campbell's back line. You get a slip. I think it was either Banks or Crane slipped in defense. I think it was Banks slipped in defense. And Grayson's trying to create the opportunity, but then Crane does a great job of stepping in, winning that ball cleanly, and getting forward. Now we might have an injury.
Balogun is down. He's grabbing that right ankle. And I think it was from when he was trying to send the ball forward and he spun on the turf, but Balogun is up, and that's a good sign.
It is.
Adeyemi. Proclaiming that he was not the last to touch. Everyone in yellow and black saying otherwise, and so it is a long throw for Campbell. On the ground, Miles Russell had possession. Seward pops the ball up into the air outside of the 18. Balogun tried to close the distance, and now Adeyemi full head of steam. Look at this. 30-yard run inside the 18. Great tackle, Sherfield.
What a fantastic bit of defensive work. Jackson Sherfield tracking back with the run, able to reach in there and just poke it away perfectly. He has to get it exactly right. It's a tricky situation because it's not really, with a right-footed shooter, it's not really going to be that dangerous of an angle to shoot from. But he has to get it right for penalty reasons, and he gets it absolutely perfect, and it's something Campbell can build on here as they try and regain control.
Nardello tried to get the ball away from J.C. Carpenter. Big swing into the middle. Carpenter push to the left. Miles Russell. He wanted to set up that right foot, defended nicely by Toledo, cleared by Nardello, but not all the way. Sherfield. Gavin Banks looking long over the top. Too much is there. It'll be a goal kick for Grayson.
Grayson trying to go quick in that transition moment, but you got to get it right. Try to play that diagonal ball across. You don't get it right, all of a sudden, Campbell's coming right back at you, full speed, full head of steam.
And this is admittedly the first chance I have had to see Tolu Adeyemi run downhill like we've seen in this match.
Yeah. Again, spring game is possible. Get him there.
Catch with Coach Bryant. We can do that. Foul called on Campbell, 10 yards inside the attacking half. Almost halfway home here, first 40. It looks like Grant Cooper will be doing the honors. Both hands in the air. Big right. One hop. Easy grab.
Gavin Banks is making that long run down the left-hand side. I think Eric Clay wanted to play him to him at first, but then Banks wasn't looking up.
Contested header. Capoletti pokes it forward. Miles Russell with the right deflected. Muhique was there. Hands up for the save. Parried away. Popped up into the air. Second bounce. Chested down nicely by Campbell and Gavin Banks. Went back to Sherfield. Adeyemi won the hand fight there. Then he bounces off of Sherfield 5 yards inside the attacking half.
Oh, he set a pick on Adeyemi. The referee's going to have a talk with him about it. Sherfield basically held his ground and took Adeyemi off his feet. And I like the way he's officiating the game, though. You're not putting yourself into a situation where you're throwing cards early and setting a standard where the game might escalate and boil over, but you're communicating with the player, letting him know, hey, we're not going to do that. I'm keeping track of things. I like the way it's being managed.
Toledo inside the 18, headed up into the air and away to J.C. Carpenter. Carpenter, a little bit of space. Nice ball up the right-hand side to Miles Russell. Nicely defended as well by Callan Freeman.
Callan Freeman just getting stuck in there. Callan Freeman hopping up, hyped after making that tackle.
Balogun, the throw, looking for Lois. Rolls harmlessly to Muhique. 18:45 and counting first half. No goals on the board. Mujic looking for Nardello. Dispossessed. Cappelletti with enough pressure. J.C. Carpenter, who is doing a lot of work from right to left and left to right. He's putting in a lot of miles so far on that Fitbit.
Trying to immediately go down the field right away.
Clay with Lois. Miles Russell. Kamara was there to defend. And this calls for Andrew Balokun. Line drive, but it went right to Callan Freeman, who just heads it out. You gain 10 yards on the idea.
And it's a first down.
Absolutely true.
Well, like we talked about, now the closer you get, the more dangerous those throw-ins can get, especially for Campbell with what they've shown you so far.
Looking to the edge of the 18. Freeman was there with the first touch. Volleyed back, and it's going to be a wild switch. End up as a throw. Say 25 yards away from the near side corner flag. First sub of the match. I think it's going to be Caden Geyer, the sophomore. And he is checking in for Reed Nardello. 18 for 15. Toledo looking for Emmanuel Amede, who has been held in check so far. We mentioned the 4 double-digit goal scorers. Amede is second on the team in goals scored with 26. But he's been held in check so far. Adeyemi has been a lot of the focus.
Which is fine, because you can use somebody's gravity like that and free up a guy like Adeyemi to make those runs in behind, which is what we've seen. We've seen him get on those long 20, 30-yard runs.
Cooper from 42. He's going to go far post, headed well wide of the far post goal kick.
But if Amede can be that kind of gravitational number 9 at times and be that center focal point, then you get those situations where Adeyemi can drop back, get the ball deeper into the midfield, kind of twist out the shape a bit for Campbell and make it a little trickier for them to defend. And then you let Adeyemi get his run in where he can really turn the jets on and get downfield. Creates problems.
Scoring update from Mercer Macon. Class A D2 boys at the break. Atkinson County, the number 2 ranked team in the state in the scoreboard rankings, has a 1-0 lead. Alex Vega with a free kick in the 6th minute. And right now, Atkinson County leading Lake Oconee Academy, who came in as the number 3 ranked team. So number 2 versus number 3 in Class A D2 boys at the break. Atco with the lead, chasing after a state title with Coach Michelle McKinnon. Shot well wide, and I had a lot of side spin on it, so it ends up as a throw. Opportunity for Campbell to pressure.
You see him step up. They're going to shrink the field right here.
Try to have Caden Geyer think a little bit. Toledo up into the air, headed once. Adeyemi, nice control, cuts it to the inside, gets around Sherfield. Long switch with the left, too much on it.
Looking for Kamara there, and it's such a good little turn. It's a good little header flick header in, and then to try and get it to your magic man. He starts getting across the middle of the field, starts pulling bodies towards him because he starts revving up that engine, and you opened up the far side.
3 defenders were there for Grayson to dispossess. Adeyemi, middle of the park, 10, 15, now 20 yards in. Nice chip over the top, but Dolan will usher it back to Eric Clay.
Had about 3 different options he could have gone with there. Tries to go with a little backspin chip. We've seen him do it a couple times. We've seen both teams really do it a couple times. Hit that ball over the top so that it just dies when it lands. That one had a little too much juice. Eric Clay able to get to it.
Go all the way back to Mujic. Joaquin Toledo. Back to Andrew Seward. Very massively slanted in your percentages, upper class roster for Coach Heck and Grayson. A lot of juniors and seniors on this roster. Freeman forward to Lois. 30 yards from goal, looking into the middle. First person there was Seward. Adeyemi 10 yards inside his own defensive half. Tries to get past Sherfield. He does. Gets past 3 players. Shouldered, but keeps possession. Long run for Adeyemi. Deflected.
Oh, what a
and
save.
Having to make the save, and the lunge was Eric Clay.
Clay might have got a bit of a boot there. That's such a great save. Clay's still down, taking a minute to get. He's keeping the focus on the game. But, yeah, they're going to have to stop it because Clay's down hurt.
Toledo got a push in the back for Freeman. You mentioned Eric Clay. In the rush to try to figure out who's going to be in charge of the ball.
Well, he comes out. He stretches himself out to make that play. Outstanding job of getting a touch to it, knocking the ball away, and he pays the price. Referee's checking on him. I wonder if he was worried about a possible head injury. The way he was bent, I was as well, John Louie. The way he was on his knees and kind of bent over with his head on the ground for a moment there, I wondered if he caught a boot to the head. Looks like he's okay. He should get a drop ball.
Yep. .12:41 and counting now, first half. No goals on the board. Header into the middle. Chance for Geyer to get possession for Grayson, but coming away with it, it's Campbell and Gavin Banks. Banks cuts it back to the right. Line drive deflected. And it goes right to Muhik. Coming up 12 minutes to go first half. No goals on the board.
It's really playing like 5 at the back for Campbell. I know it's at times it can be 3 at the back, especially when Gavin Banks is bombing forward like he was right there. But when Grayson's able to go deep, they're able to do that, 3 at the back, which is giving you that extra bit of security, especially against this 4-4-2.
Balogun for the foul.
Heavy challenge. But it gives you that extra man of security. If you're looking at a 4-4, thinking about it as a 4-4-2 where Grayson's got those 2 Mustangs up front, you get 3 men at the back. At minimum, you have an extra defender. And then in situations like this where you can be set, you can have 5 at the back and really try and smother it. The thing you just have to be careful about is those gaps between the back line and the midfield. Toledo over here on the right-hand side all by his lonesome.
Cooper headed out. Second bounce. Lois right into the middle. Cappelletti. Cappelletti with the chip. Too much on it, trying to get it to Miles Russell.
We know Cappelletti can be an absolute problem. But if you're Grayson and you're keeping him picking up the ball that far down the field, I feel like you're going to be okay with it.
Adeyemi got past Schliesting, and then Balogun. Challenge right on the end line. Balogun last to touch corner for Grayson at 10:25 and counting first half. You're watching live coverage of the GHSA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/GHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Georgia high school soccer playoff action, and just high school playoff action in general.
Good work.
That's what we're here for.
Kind of.
Cleared away by the defense, Sherfield. Tried to clear it forward, hit Gavin Banks instead. Banks' second chance right through the center circle. Cappelletti ended up hitting it directly at Seward. Up and over the top. Flag is up.
It's a great idea, and it's a stupid good ball from Andrew Seward. He's just a step offside. That's such a good idea, and it's great awareness. Campbell's line was a little bit off, where you had one center back a little more forward than the other ones.
Yep.
So you had that gap to do it. He was just a step or a half step offside. Nine minutes to go here in the first half. Another chance for Grayson, John. And the name of the game, it really seems like, John, is pace for Grayson in these situations where they can stretch the game out and just cause problems.
Geyer was looking for Toledo. Defense was there for Jacob Crane. Toledo looks for the quick throw.
A little bit heavy on the touch.
For Nebu Samuel, long up and over. Spoken like a true football Friday night fan.
Well, half the crowd did it too.
Yes. Oh, no. They were following your lead up here in the press box.
I don't mind that shot, though, because you do need to have those shots from distance. As on those situations where Grayson is able to pin Campbell in, as that line of three turns into a line of five and gets compressed on the back, you're going to have to take shots from distance because you cannot let them just compress that much.
Shouldered off the ball was Miles Russell.
Miles Russell was looking for a handball pretty ardently there for a moment.
Kamara tried to get a foul call. Wasn't going to happen. Cappelletti wound and fired, and he ended up hitting Seward. It's going to be a corner. Update, Westminster and Marist tied with no goals on the board. Sounds vaguely familiar today.
It does. We've had a theme.
.720 and counting first half. Alongside Jarrett Smith, John Nelson here with you for the Class 6A Boys Soccer Championship.
It's going to be an out-swinging corner. Go to that back post.
Headed out. Poke to try to get ahead of steam for Adeyemi. Nothing happening there. Sherfield 15 yards inside the attacking half. Trying to go long one side to the other to combine with J.C. Carpenter. Carpenter having to chase to get it away from Samuel. Miles Russell double teamed. Pushed away by Callan Freeman. It's going to be a throw, which means it's time for Andrew Bellacune. They've now turned second half with Marist and Westminster goalless at Duluth. Jason Longshore, Madison Cruz on that call. Mateen Rod is calling Atco and Lake Oconee Academy here on the network.
Flick that header back the other way, and now Grayson's just trying to survive, and you'll take that gift right there if you're Grayson.
Off of Miles Russell. Adeyemi gets away from Schlichting. Pushed forward. Geyer at a full sprint. Nicely worked there by Gavin Banks to shut that down.
Adeyemi's just holding down that right sprint trigger as hard as he can, and it's working.
Defense was there by Grant Cooper to slow that rush down. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to go first half.
This is just a reminder, if you're joining us from the first game or in this game, today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer.
Yes.
You should do that for the first game.
Yes.
Because that was an event.
And for the Oconee County Jefferson girls game yesterday here at this venue. Bit of a do-si-do by Nebu Samuel. Foul. Set piece opportunity coming up on 5 minutes. We're going to stop the clock.
And we got a yellow.
Yellow to Jacob Crane. Tristan Victor, the 9th grader, checking in. Clock stops at 5:05. Joaquin Toledo from outside the 18, maybe 2 strides. 2.5, well, 3. Okay, so say from 21. Sharp angle, 2 on the wall. Luis and Tristan Victor
The way he can spin this ball, all you really got to do if you're Grayson is just get a touch to it and redirect it.
You mentioned that spin, header up into the air, up and over the net, goal kick.
Well, maybe he's trying to get his head to it. He's just not able to get on top of it. He gets underneath it and just floats over. But if you can hit that ball with the right amount of pace, give it that right amount of spin, all you really got to do is get a touch to it and just turn that energy back the other way.
Misha Dahlin into the night trying to get it to J.C. Carpenter. Last touched by Grayson, so it will be Balakun. It will be Balakun with the throw. This is going to be more distance than height. Headed down inside the 18. Now Grayson with a chance to come back the other way in transition. Nebu Samuel with the first touch. Now up the right-hand side. Calling for it's Caden Geyer off the big switch. Instead it gets to Toledo, 20 yards behind him. Toledo up and over trying to get it to Adeyemi. And easy, one big hop. Eric Clay was there as Adeyemi was bearing down upon him.
I mean, he had it under control, but he had to take a step back because of the bounce on the turf, and then Adeyemi was charging him down at full speed. It's good concentration not to flinch.
Nothing like having an 18-wheeler bearing right down upon you and you're trying to focus on your work. 3:20 and counting first half, no goals on the board. 2 seed out of Region 3, Campbell, the Spartans, against the top-ranked Grayson Rams. Sherfield with the pickpocket, but he couldn't quite hang on to it. Big swing coming back the other way. Dahlin is going to shield it. Nicely done there by Clay to find Schliesting. Schliesting now up the right-hand side, up and over the defense. Lois. And nicely done so it doesn't turn into a corner at the last possible second to send it over the far side touch.
He didn't really have a choice there, and the game's getting more stretched out here in the last few minutes as we're under 2.5 to go.
Balakun within the shadow of the far corner flag. Left hand in the air.
Dahlin coming up as well.
Punch, headed, second bounce, finally cleared away. Schliesting is there. Sherfield, 30 yards from goal, couldn't keep possession. Opportunity for Grayson if they can take advantage. Nicely done by Balakun to stand his ground. Lois, bumped down by Callan Freeman. And goal kick.
Well, Campbell supporters are telling you what they think, but it's a shoulder-to-shoulder, John. And he comes in with that shoulder, collides with him, and wins it.
Muik looking for Adeyemi. Calming the ball down was Gavin Banks temporarily. You had 3 bodies going after it. Sherfield, Banks, and Amidi. Sherfield checking on Amidi.
The Amidi just got swarmed in that sequence.
Still, it's been a very quiet first half.
It has. We talked about it, John. It's these moments right before halftime where you have to stay switched on in those last 60 seconds, and it's so much easier for me to say it than it is to do it.
Looking edge of the 18 over at the far post. Geyer goes back to center circle and Callan Freeman. Freeman's going to go long over the top. Too much flags up anyway. Looking for Kamara over on the far side at 45 seconds.
Reminder that today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. You can download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are.
Yes. Looking for Sherfield up the right-hand side, back and forth with Carpenter into the middle. having to backtrack to try to keep possession was Miles Russell, and they're going to call
foul on Russell. Yeah. Looks like that'll probably be the last action of the first half.
And Mujica's going to take it easy because in 3, 2, 1, that'll do it for the first 40. The 2 seed out of region number 3. Campbell makes it to the last game of the year to take on the top-ranked Region 4 champ, the Grayson Rams, and after 40 minutes, nothing is resolved. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back, get you squared away at the start of the second 40. It's Class 6A championship on the boys' side, hanging in the balance here on the NFHS Network. Stick and stay from McEachern. We'll be back in a bit.
Get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo.
You see if I did?
Yeah.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for all that you do officiating high school football.
What you do matters, and what you do is important for our student athletes.
Without you and what you do, it's just practice.
I know you've worked hard in your preparation this offseason, and now it's game time.
Go out there and call them like you see them.
Embrace the grind.
And the biggest thing of all is to have fun.
Please, stay safe, have a great season, and we'll all be watching.
Going to college for esports feels amazing. Growing up, it's something I never thought would happen. My family never thought it would happen. And then within 2.5 years, here I am.
He's actually a madman whenever it comes to playing on the sticks.
You know, he's going to be the first one that pursues this into an academic career.
Me getting an esports scholarship could show other students that it's possible for them too, as long as they put their mind to it and put some effort into it.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
All right, ready?
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
All right, ready?
the innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to McEachern, Dorsey Field, Cantrell Stadium, and the press box from on high. Alongside Jarrett Smith, I'm John Nelson once again. Ian Russell and Johnny Doherty on the ones and twos, giving you all the pictures and all the fancy effects and everything. Making sure that you get all of the images that you're looking for. 40 minutes in the books, getting ready for the second 40. Boys 6A title in the balance. Jarrett, what'd you think of the first 40?
I thought it was a tense first 40, but it was a lot of fun. We saw Grayson come out on the front foot, hit the crossbar, but I thought Campbell grow into the game. And what Troy Connolly had talked about in the lead-up to the game, John, about keeping everything in front of it. And we talked to him before the game, and he talked about, the hard part's done. You got here. This is the part where you should relax. Like, I know it's a championship game, but you did the hard part getting here. Look at the support you have. Look at the way you fought in the first half, and you weathered the storm. What I'm interested to see with Campbell is if we get that formation change that he talked about as Grayson kicks us off. Campbell came out in that 3-5-2. Do they change things up? Do they stick with what's been working?
Looked like a line of 5 to start things off. Campbell in their dress blacks with the white numerals. They're going from left to right here in
such a clean look, man.
The second 4 minutes. You ain't kidding. Really dig it. And then Grayson, top-ranked, nationally ranked, top 5 in the country. Up and over the top, first chance here for Campbell, trying to get around it is Piero Capoletti and Andrew Seward. No dice.
Good strength from Seward to ride out that challenge for Capoletti, who's we talked about him in the pregame, John, that he's a guy to watch because of what he can create for you, and they've done a good job of minimizing his very dangerous moments in a similar way that Campbell has done a really good job of minimizing Emmanuel Amidi's moments.
Brandon Poole, who had a quiet first half. Manidu Kamara couldn't quite connect on the pass, so it ends up as a throw for Balokun. Miles Russell on the right-hand side. We saw Miles Russell on the right. Saw him in the middle. Keep on playing. You're absolutely correct. I'm trying to go big switch from right to left.
It's a great tackle from Russell. He takes it off of him, and everybody stopped for a half second there. You didn't hear a whistle. Keep going. That's a chance to turn it over and go. You don't dictate the game. Let the referee dictate the game. You get stuck in on a challenge, you don't blow the whistle. That's an opportunity.
Sherfield. Freeman. Swatted at and cleared a good 65 yards. Woo. Misha Dahlen having to clean that up, or it's just a throw.
Because Amidi was in fourth gear. Dahlen didn't have a choice. I think he was going to bring that down. He had planned to bring that down, turn and restart the offense, but Amidi was on full speed at him. He had to play it out.
Kamara with the throw, ends up with it after the second chance, trying to pull the perimeter. 25 yards away from goal. Handball.
I was really impressed, John, with Campbell's collective defense. I mean, we can go through the names on the back line. I mean, Balakoon's been very good, of course. Jacob Crane, when he's been able to get involved, has been very good. But it's the collective defensive work that they've done that I've been really impressed with, that they have each other's back. If someone gets eliminated from a place, someone else is stepping up and making it happen.
Cooper dispossessed, and then Callan Freeman knocks down Alessio Lois.
He's going to get a card for it.
And that's a card for Callan Freeman. 2:55 into the second half. Michael Lynch, the junior, checking in for the senior Freeman. Freeman standing next to head coach John Heck, getting a couple of quick words.
John Heck's having a word with him. Please don't.
right in the middle of the park, right at 30.
Three-man wall that's getting kind of organized.
Freeman up and over.
So hard to get that ball back down when you from that distance. It's not as tricky as, from like 18 yards away where you have to get it up and down. It's Kalen Freeman comes right back in.
Michael Lynch is like, yep.
Oh, job done. Might have just been a conversation with Kalen Freeman.
Miles Russell out to the right looking for Luis. Luis comes back centrally across the logo here at Cantrell. Balogun with a little bit of space. Looks like he wants to cut it back to his left. He does. Chips it toward the penalty spot, headed out easily, but right to Alessio Luis. Luis from 40 yards. Knocked out by Seward. Third chance, Sherfield, 30 yards away. He's dispossessed. Luis pops it over for the big switch, and too much on it. And it will be a throw for Grayson here in the 5th minute.
That was good from Luis, though. He was just continuing to clean things up, try and put guys in dangerous positions.
Ball kind of pinballs around a little bit. Clay tries to send it to Balogun. Balogun got it as far as center circle, and Manidou Kamara.
Well, the more this game gets stretched, and if Campbell starts adventuring more forward, Clay is going to have to do some sweeper keeping. And that's going to make for some tense and fun moments. Tense or fun, depending on where you fall on how you feel about this game.
Yes. And if you are a neutral, how you are about your sweeper keepers.
Yeah. Oh, sweeper keepers are always fun when you're neutral.
Yes. Kamara got past Balogun. Now Samuel, edge of the 18, wanted to cut it back to his right. He stood up by Sherfield. Schliesting knocked down foul.
Good from Schliesting there. And again, we talked about it, the way Campbell defends as a unit so well, and they're cleaning each other up and making sure they've got each other's back. It's really good there.
Misha Dahlen, 30 yards away from the end line. Now both hands in the air. He'll send it long. Got the long iron out. And now trying to get it to Adeyemi. Nice by Gavin Banks to try to head Adeyemi off, but Adeyemi sticks with the play. Foul by Banks. Stop the clock. Go into the pocket.
It's one where Banks kind of has to make the play there.
Jacob Crane will come in for Gavin Banks. And remember, Banks got the start tonight because of Aaron Ozkanak being injured in the previous round.
Yeah. Talked to Coach Troy. He took a couple knocks in that game. Just not able to go tonight. And you gotta believe how rough those knocks must be for you to miss this game. And so we hope he is recovering well tonight.
40 yards out. A wall of one, so it's just keeping an eye on things. Carpenter keeping an eye off to the left, edge of the 18. Seward wanted to do a bit of a spin-a-rooney to keep possession. It ends up sticking with Grayson, by the way. Nardello dispossessed. Chance here up the right-hand side. Can Carpenter get to it? No.
Just a little bit heavy on that ball to Carpenter.
Grant Cooper keeping an eye on things at the back. Balogun, left hand in the air.
It's when Kalen Freeman knocks that ball out and takes the multi-ball out of there. And all I can think is the CONCACAF in me is, don't do that. Let the ball stay on the field. Give yourself more time to organize.
Yes. Nice idea by Miles Russell trying to keep the ball in play. And they're going to say that it goes out over the near side touch, and it's going to be a deep throw. Seward couldn't keep it in, so it'll be an opportunity here for Balogun and Campbell.
Balogun quick on that throw.
Flick, header, hit a teammate, flags up.
I believe he was off.
Yep.
But that was, and then another one we talked about at Mohique. Mohique started to come for that ball, then changed his mind, had a change of heart. He's retreating back there. If that ball's just flicked back in, his reaction time is cut in half easy.
The heat goes long. First person to get there was Tristan Victor, who's getting minutes here to start the second half, the 9th grader.
Campbell so aggressive, pressing off that long ball when they lose the first ball. Right there, you almost created a situation where you could have turned it over and gone the other way with numbers again.
Fields heads the ball out for the throw just to kind of slow things down for the Campbell defense so they can kind of catch their breath a little bit. Toledo pushed it forward. Adeyemi tried to get through traffic to catch up with that ball, but it ended up getting to Clay. They'll send it clear. Toledo once again with the throw, 5 yards inside the attacking half over on the far side.
And for both teams, you're fine with that situation because of the way that both of them are going to play. We know Grayson's going to get forward. We know the talent they have up top and in the midfield. And with Campbell, they're going to want to pick their spots. It's so important for a sequence of attack to end with a dead ball situation, whether it's a goal, whether it's a set piece, whether it's a goal kick, whether it's a foul, whatever it is. Just don't give up those live ball transitions. Oh, what a dummy.
And nicely done, reaching at the top of his vertical, Eric Clay. Soft hands to play it in front of him. Danger stopped on that rush, 9th minute, second half.
It's part of the ebbs and flow with this game, John. Ooh.
Balakun and Kamara. Kamara getting the throw in from Brandon Poole. Big switch to Toledo. Toledo with a lot of room. Now up the right-hand side, looking into the middle. Big swing blocked by that defense. Schliesting once again comes right out to meet the challenge of Amidi. Nothing happening, so it'll be yet another throw.
Amidi powered the thing up. He just ran to a wall with it. It's great. It's brave defending, too, is what it is.
Adeyemi tried to go for the cutback, but once again, it was Dahlin and Schliesting there to cut the angle down. Corner, near side, 10th minute, second half, still looking for the first goal on the board.
Such vital defending, too, because there were 3 Grayson attackers on the back door in 3 different positions. So he wouldn't have to have been perfect with it if he just gets it in the area. It's very likely in the back of the net. It's great defending at the death.
In-swinger with the right, looking far side, popped up into the air once and twice. Schliesting takes a big swing at it, and he'll send it. Looking for Carpenter. Second ball won by Campbell down the middle, put it kind of in no man's land. Muhik has to come out and challenge 25 yards away from his own goal. Schliesting to Scherfields, nicely done to get away from Reed Nardello.
Grayson's got to get restructured here. Get really good tackle there from Toledo to bail it out because they were not in shape.
Jacob Crane with the throw. Update from Mercer Macon, Lake Oconee Academy. Now has tied Atco. That one is 1-1 in the second half. And that should be late.
Yeah, we can understand we got a late start compared to everybody else because we went to penalties.
Crane stepping in the way. 5 yards away from center line, over in the defensive half for Grayson. Looking for Amidi, and he's marked instantly. Once again, we reintroduce you to Jacob Crane up the left-hand side.
Just a reminder, high school sports fans never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination. NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school.
Dahlin and Crane trying to keep Adeyemi from turning the corner. And they do exactly that, but it ends up as a corner. And a lot of the tall timber forward for the Rams. Keep an eye on Seward. Lined up at the edge of the 18. Toledo forward, headed, cleared. Big windup that time by Grant Cooper. And coming back from an offside position, the flag is up.
Well, Campbell feel comfortable right now, John, and we talked about it before the game, of this kind of game, when it feels like there's an underdog.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't mean that in an insulting way.
No, you're the 2 seed out of your region. You're not ranked. You're going up against a top-ranked team. I get that.
Against a nationally ranked team. But who feels the pressure the most right now? Because if I'm Campbell, I'm feeling good about this. It's still scoreless. We created a couple chances. The game's been physical, but we've held our ground. And the later it gets, does Grayson get tighter first?
Mm-hmm.
And do they start to feel the pressure? Do they press? And then do mistakes come?
27 minutes of the R word to determine whether or not that will be the case. Regulation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Uhik goes long, edge of the 18. Hit Adeyemi square in the face. I don't think he was anticipating it there.
I think it took a deflection, then off of his face.
Miles Russell tried to keep possession, trying to keep it away from Brandon Poole. Rush up the right-hand side is Carpenter. Carpenter forced out wide, double-teamed right on the touchline. Sent edge of the 18. Flags up. Good idea by Balakoon, but the timing was off.
It's getting fine for Campbell. You're picking your spots to get forward. You're staying structured. Now you switch. Now you flip back to that back line of 5.
Kamara, about 30 yards away, tried to go between the legs of Balakoon. He initially did, but backup was there. Cappelletti bumped by Seward. No call there. Charging through a lot is Nebu Samuel. Samuel to the left and back to defend Jacob Crane.
Crane had to get it right, and he got it perfectly right. I mean, over the meadow and through the woods, through legs, bouncing over people left and right, leaving bodies in the wake. It's a great run, and I was waiting for the outside of the foot shot to finish it off, and it just never came because Jacob Crane said no.
Corner, near side corner flag. 25 minutes to go here, second half. Both hands in the air, headed out. First touch couldn't be controlled. Nardello, Spinaroonie to try to keep it. He's double teamed, looking for Kamara too much on it.
Kamara got back quickly. Wasn't going to be caught offside. Just not enough space down there for 4 guys.
Balakoon looking for a little help. Gained about 10 yards on the walk-up. Nicely done there by Samuel. Adeyemi cut back. Only folks there are in dark jerseys.
I think he had more time than he thought he had. And now you got to get it right defensively if you're something you do.
As it was Cappelletti and Miles Russell in a 2v5 in transition.
Yeah, but when that ball again, we talked about it, John. When that ball starts bouncing on that turf, you have to get it right the first time because it gets too tricky as we'll get a sub.
Looks like it's the return of Caden Geyer. And I think it's Geyer once again for Nardello. .23.5 minutes to go here, second half. No goals on the board. Top-ranked Grayson. Nationally ranked Grayson. Going up against the 2 seed out of Region 3 in Campbell. And Adeyemi just misses the header.
And look at the bench. They know it too, Coach Heck. Adeyemi, it's there, man. It's a great cross in. Adeyemi's just a half step behind it because that is a slam dunk header he just can't get to. By all accounts, should be 1-0 right now to Grayson.
Update. 80 minutes, not enough at Duluth. Marist and Westminster, goalless. So they got more minutes in them, trying to determine the champ in Quad A boys.
We had a lot of fun championships this weekend that have been. These two teams have previous history.
Yes. Why? Yes, comma they do. ...
Some of those kids have been playing each other since they were 8.
Russell trying to turn. Won the lobby job. Throw for Balakoon. Balakoon coming forward. Forward a lot, frankly. 19th minute here, second half, 59th overall. Balakoon's got to come from
the press box.
The drain, run up the drain in the cement, and then come out onto the turf surface for the throw.
I mean, he about took that from Taft Middle School.
And so it's going to end up now as a corner. Alessia Lois will take. Schliesting camped out right in the middle of the goal mouth. Both hands in the air by Lois. Going far post, punched away by Muhik. Only folks there are Grayson, and now on the dead run in transition. What can they do? Sherfield back to defend. Edge of the 18, wanting to punch it to the left foot. Nicely done there. Coming back to defend, but not all the way out. Grayson's second chance. 35 yards from goal. Toledo went up the right-hand side. Adeyemi will track it down, but it's in the corner near the corner flag. Back to the edge of the 18. Samuel in a 1v1. Shot save.
Well, Samuel's tried to rack up as many dribbles as possible in the second half, and they've been productive dribbles in the attacking half. Right there, that shot's just, it's going to have to be better to beat Eric Clay.
Clay had it tracked the entire time. Capoletti, ball ended up deflected going behind him. And trying to track it down as it goes over the far side touch right near the corner flag. Substitution ready for Troy Connolly and Campbell. Trey Klein, another ninth grade forward coming in. And he's going to replace Tristan Victor. So ninth grader for ninth grader.
Exactly what you're used to seeing.
Halfway home, 60 gone. In full. Looking for J.C. Carpenter, tries to get around the trouble. And so you end up with a foul.
Just a reminder, you are watching live coverage of the GHSA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/GHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Georgia High School playoff action.
High up into the night here in Powder Springs. Calmed down by Grayson, picked back up. Race up the side, trying to go edge of the 18 was Trey Klein with his first action of the evening. And so Lois will wander over to the far corner with 18 and a half minutes to go. And let's see what Campbell has in mind here with Troy Connolly. Lois will be an in-swinger with the right. Right hand in the air. Trying to go far post with it, almost an Olympico type deal. Up and over Mujique and everyone. Goal kick. 18 minutes to go regulation.
I keep harping on it because I keep waiting for it to matter. The way they are crowding Mujique there at the goal mouth. He's going to get caught up in those bodies. Something weird is bound to happen if they keep getting those corner kicks and free kicks and long throws right there. And it's just such a tricky situation for a keeper who is not a lighthouse in his own right.
Adeyemi looked like he pulled Schliesting down, no call. Sent long past Cappelletti. And we'll try it all over again. A little bit of a pausa from Mujique once and twice. Jacob Crane there to defend against that back line of Grayson. Player down, and I think it's Sherfield.
Sherfield got trucked in the process there by, I believe, Adeyemi.
Balukun's throw up the right-hand side. Defended quickly by Kamara. Second one from Balukun. Lois. Kamara trying to come in from behind. Dispossessed from the front by Grant Cooper. Nicely done to get around to 1v3 was Nebu Samuel. Now to Kamara. Schliesting got in the way there. You're going to get a foul on Lois at just under 40 yards away from goal. Adeyemi lobbying for a card. Samuel back on his feet. Grant Cooper, a part of the discussion. You go here. What do you think? You want to do this? You want to do this? You want to do this? What do you think?
I think I want to try and hit something with backspin right at the edge of the 6 and see if I can just create it in that dead zone where the keeper's got to make a decision.
Kamara from inside 40 is going to go far post with it. Headed down. Angle was too far out to get it to the near post, and it's going to be a goal kick for Eric Clay.
And it's so much easier said than done to drop it exactly where you want to, and now we're going to get another sub.
Gavin Banks back in. And Cappelletti getting some rest.
You got to balance your minutes somehow. $15 goals on the season for Cappelletti. I think as this game wears on, you'll want to get him this rest so he can be of use to you later.
Gavin Banks dispossessed by Toledo. You know what the Campbell fans wanted. They didn't get it. Flag is up.
Get a push foul on Grayson, which might feel like a makeup call.
On Adeyemi, yeah. And now Adeyemi's down.
Adeyemi's done a lot of very, very hard running in this game. Looks like he's cramping up.
14 and a half to go. The clock stops. So once again, last reports we had at Duluth, heading to overtime. It is Marist and Westminster Class Quad A boys. Last report we had from Mercer-Macon. Physio's going out for Grayson to take a look at Adeyemi. He's stretching the muscles out. Last report we had from Mateen Rod down at Mercer-Macon, Class A D2 boys, Atkinson County and Lake Oconee Academy. Drawn at 1 late. A de facto hydration break. Take it at 14:30. Because when we started, you had mentioned when there was daylight, temps in the low 90s. Wandering here into the building. With turf, even with the modern incarnations of it, you're adding 10 degrees.
Yes.
Plus all of the activity that's associated with it. And we could tell in the absolute sunlight how it was affecting the players from Buford and Walton on the girls' side in 6A.
As it stands right now, we got it at 78 degrees with 72% humidity, which is quite balmy.
So you're pushing, 85 in your real temp?
So
plus the turf surface.
The turf surface is going to retain heat, but it's not just that. It is how hard everyone has been running tonight, John. I mean, guys are pushing themselves. They're digging deep. They're trying to find those bits they can because there's 14 and a half minutes left here in the second half of a state championship where there's still no score. You're digging deep and you're finding every bit you can.
Dahlin starts the clock up again. Almost makes it to the edge of the 18. Bounced inside the D. Second chance through save. Second chance there and in. Campbell.
Well, how do you like that, John? We talked about it. The longer this game went, where was the pressure going to fall? Who was going to step up in the moment? And for Campbell, it steps up, I believe it's Gavin Banks.
Trey Klein with the cutback pass after the first shot and the save.
Yep.
Muhik makes the save on the initial ball.
Outstanding save.
You end up with Trey Klein there with the presence of mind. Not a lot of room to get it past at the near post. Finds Gavin Banks. 14-18 to go. Nardello in. Geyer out for Grayson. And Grayson has some work to do. Down a goal.
14 minutes left for Grayson to find something.
Last loss for Grayson, March 11th, 2-0 at Archer.
They had chances at different points, John. Grayson wasn't able to break through, and we saw it in the first game where when you got those chances, if you don't take advantage of them, they can come back to hurt you.
Kamara. Double team. Luis from behind. And as we anticipated at Mercer-Macon, Lake Oconee Academy, Atkinson County, 80 minutes can't decide it. Tied at 1. Number 1 on the ropes here in 6A boys. Set piece opportunity. 2 on the wall. Looking toward the penalty spot, headed clear. Pinballs around once and twice. Pinball a third time clear.
Trying to put that shot in on goal, hit it off his own teammate. This is going to be time to suffer now if you're Campbell. You've done the work. You got the goal to put you ahead. You came in as the underdog. You found the goal. If you can find a second one, great. More often than not, though, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have to defend. How do you suffer and how do you take advantage of these chances right here?
Luis out to the left, now inside the 18. Deflected, pinballed around again. Finally out of the 18. And a foul, I think, on Carpenter.
Carpenter pulled him back just a little bit. I thought the ref would let it go and let the transition moment happen. Campbell just fighting for every ball right
Grant
now, man.
Cooper had it and lost it. Luis crashed to win possession back high over the top. Kamara, full sprint. Balogun, he'll get there first. Goal kick.
Just excellent defending from Balogun, who's been doing it all night. A sub coming in for Campbell as well.
David Samuyiwa set to come in as Carpenter is out.
The Carpenter doing the smart thing there. He's dragging himself back into the field of play as he is down so that the play has to stop and they don't have to play down a man while he gets treatment. Looks like Caden Geyer's getting ready to come back in as well.
Yes, and so Geyer. Yep, and so they're having.
Yeah, that's a move of let me drag what's left of me back onto the field of play, stop things, let me get this sub. Okay, I'll drag myself back off the field while I get treatment. But you just don't want to be in a situation where you're playing down a man. Clock is stopped right now with 11:28 to go. Campbell lead 1-0.
Line things back up, Misha Dahlin. Start the clock. Dahlin going long. Looked like it hit Cooper. Cleared away by Callan Freeman.
Love seeing Campbell not playing afraid here. They're not backing down. They're not getting into a shell. They're still trying to go get this. One way you could protect a 1-0 lead, John, is to make it a 2-0 lead.
Balogun with the throw. The player who is in for Campbell is Samu Yiwa, another 9th grader. Samuel tries to send the ball forward. And guess who's there? Sherfield. Fancy footwork trying to pass it to himself wide. Nice idea trying to get it to Miles Russell, edge of the 18. Lois has some space, couldn't turn it.
Lois has been the MVP and captain of this team. 5 goals, 14 assists on the season. Tried to wrap his foot around that ball to wrap up a trophy for this team.
Center circle. First to get there, Gavin Banks. Somoyiwa checked into the retaining wall.
It's padded. Ain't that padded? I think it's padded.
I don't think it is. Straight up blue paint job.
Well, then it's definitely not that padded.
And of course, it's a throw, and you give Somoyiwa the credit. It's like, okay, I was the one who was over here. I'll do the throwing, but no.
No, you take it now. If you're Campbell, you take all the time in the world right now. Every throw takes 25 seconds.
Balogun on the switch. Somoyiwa with the header. Trying to chase it down. Nicely done there by Gavin Banks to keep possession. Somoyiwa tried to go between the legs of Geyer.
Grayson need a goal. Grayson can't get a foot on the ball right now.
Schliesting, Sherfield, past Geyer. Ball pops up once again. Miles Russell was there. Trying to go long. Nice anticipation by Crane. Handball waved off. Seward bumped off Miles Russell. Now you get your foul.
You got an injury over here on the near side. They'll stop the clock.
And it might be Balogun. Sorry, Sherfield. 7, not 2. Cramp.
That into the step far. Again, we're going to have to check structural integrity before the fall kicks in for McEachern football. If this score line holds with the Campbell student section over there.
I'm going to look at Troy Postel and ask about structural integrity on the far side if something happens. The family Postel's getting a kick out of this.
I haven't seen this stadium this lit since A.J. Suggs was here.
Aaron Joseph Suggs. Absolutely true. Sherfield's off. Looks like J.C. Carpenter back in. So from 37, Schliesting, senior co-captain. The crowd in and around the edge of the 18 over at the far post. Start the clock at 8:55. Schliesting is going to go for distance, and it did not miss upper 90 by much.
No, it did not.
Sherfield checking back in. Carpenter checking back out. Muhik into the air. Adeyemi couldn't get to it. Balogun tried to take a big swing. Geyer tried to dance around 3 Campbell players. Didn't quite happen. Brandon Poole. Nebu Samuel double teamed up against the touchline.
Kept waiting for them to switch play. Grayson, again, is right now they can't complete anything. They can't get their foot on the ball, and that's going to go out for a throw.
Seward just had to get rid of it because Miles Russell was chasing. Under 8 minutes.
Brandon Poole just not able to get to it.
Balogun.
Again, at this point, it's going to be 20-plus seconds for every throw. You're going to take your time if you're Campbell. You're going to shorten this game as much as you can, and you've done it with your aggression.
Balogun, long throw toward the penalty spot. Trying for some fancy work was Miles Russell. Popped out of the 18. Back to Balogun. Trying it one more time. And Muhik will watch it go out over the end line. Goal kick, 7:20 to go regulation.
It goes without saying, John, this next 7 minutes and 15 or so seconds. For Campbell, it's going to be a long 7:15. For Grayson, it's going to feel like 3 minutes. Time's just melting off the clock.
Marist and Westminster heading to the second overtime. Once again, no goals on the board. Adeyemi playing a little deeper, was trying to push it, looking for Amidi. And Eric Clay has both hands on it, now under 7. Headed down, Geyer. Somuyiwa was there for the challenge. Nice self-defense by Jacob Crane.
AJ, just get it away.
Sending it into the attacking half, but once again, nothing but Grayson jerseys there. Trying to go along with it, Toledo. Dahlin with the first header. Swing and a miss by Balogun.
Good defense.
Nicely done by Miles Russell from behind. Russell goes down. Balogun is trying to stretch out muscles. Trying to work quickly. Samuel wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Right now it is just self-defense clearing, and once again, still down.
Now 2 guys stretching out for Campbell. I wasn't sure he was going to give the injury, especially when Campbell played through with a guy on the ground, but
Miles Russell getting the immediate attention from the physio. The clock stopped at 5:55. And it looks like, is that Balogun 30 yards away from goal? I think it is.
So, reminder that today's game is also available for all subscribers on the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store and Google Play Store today. Start watching live games wherever you are.
Miles Russell out. Gavin Banks in. Banks will play over on the left wing. Start the clock again. Poole. And rocketing it into the bench was Piero Cappelletti onto the Grayson bench.
Cappelletti was picking out targets.
I think he was.
Well, remember, Cappelletti had that rest. He's going to have a little bit of gas in the tank.
And so now player down for Grayson.
It's one of those that you got to find a way to fight through if you're Grayson.
Reading the route and heading it away. Almost getting there, Gavin Banks.
Samuel's really feeling it, but he's just got to find a way to give you something.
Adeyemi double teamed.
Get him out of there.
Somuyiwa was there. Adeyemi's just pushing folks to the ground to win possession. Got it away from Luis. Somuyiwa in pursuit. Bodies now down all over the place.
Foul coming the other way. And a shove off the ball.
Nardello, I think.
I believe so. Nardello's not happy with the call, but it might have been a bit of a moving pick.
Is there anything about moving picks in the rule book, in the laws of the game, in the LOTG?
Well, if you take someone down with you, yeah.
Dahlin goes long. Second ball. Samuyiwa almost got to it. Third ball, Lois. Callan Freeman. Adeyemi on the center logo wants to go between players. Pinballs around and goes into the Grayson bench. Balakun with the defending. 4 minutes to go. Edge of the 18. Flag is up. Can Campbell hang on for 3:41 more?
Another sub coming in, getting ready for Grayson.
Kamara checking back in.
Miles Russell getting ready to come in. Troy Connolly giving him his last bit of instruction.
Nardello tries to send it forward. It was right to a Spartan. It was Lois. Nice piece of work by Lois to toss it out to the left. Getting caught away from the defense. Chance to run now for Campbell. Cutting it to the right. Top of the 18, big launch. Goes through traffic. I thought it might have been deflected. Answer no. Stop the clock at 3:03. Kamara in for Grayson. Russell in, replacing Cappelletti. Fresh legs for the final 3 minutes.
Cappelletti not the quickest. So you bring in the speed here, and I think if this gets, you keep him warm though, you keep him ready, because if this gets to a situation where you get set pieces late and Grayson's able to sling in some crosses, sling in some corners, you might put Cappelletti back out there for his size and his strength in the box.
Lois going long, trying to get it to Russell. One hop around Seward, cleared away by Callan Freeman, but it ends up going right to Gavin Banks. Banks inside 30, wants to go well wide. 2:40 and counting.
Grayson just haven't been able to consistently get a foot on the ball. They haven't really threatened the goal since going down. And Campbell, we talked about it, John, they didn't sit back. They didn't sit back and play in a shell and try not to lose the game.
Kamara challenged by Balakun. Foul.
Referee saying keep going. Put the ball down and go.
Freeman going longer than long.
Dolan. So stretched. You look at whatever you could construe is Grayson's shape right now. It is just, it's bodies forward and it's a couple bodies back.
Almost like a 5 or a 6-1-3.
Yeah. It's somebody in the midfield just in case. And then bodies going forward. Under 2 to go, John.
Seward, Freeman, and Poole. Your back line of 3. And Eric Clay's going to sit on it at 100 seconds.
Reminder that today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer.
2-1 Lake Oconee Academy. Second half of the OT starting at Mercer-Macon. 10 minutes away from a title. Coach Connolly was thinking that that Grayson was last to touch. 78 seconds. Samuyiwa pressured from behind by Kamara. And now Campbell's just trying to gum it up as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You did the work if you're Campbell. You did the work progressively.
Balakun is down. Stop the clock at 57 seconds.
Balakun, I think, might be grabbing his head. So that's definitely a moment where you have to stop play.
Penalties, Marist and Westminster. So that's the updates that we have. Boys side, 2-1 Lake Oconee Academy, starting the second half of overtime at Mercer-Macon. Mateen Rod on the call on the NFHS Network. Heading to penalties, Marist and Westminster, Class Quad A boys title. Jason Longshore, Madison Cruz on the call there. And we are 57 seconds from a massive upset in 6A on the boys side. But they are keeping an eye on Balakun. You have 3 physios that are there. Schleister directing a little traffic, little conversations with everyone at Campbell right now.
Frankly, I'm amazed that Grayson even have somebody in their own end of the field and that it's not just the keeper by himself. Because you are in a situation now with the way that Campbell has been keeping the ball from you and the way they have been biting so tenaciously. If you don't get this the first time, man, I don't know if you get it back.
Balakoon on his feet, heading to the bench. And I think the conversation is trying to figure out, hey, can I sub?
Should be able to. I think they were checking for a head injury.
So Kamara, 35 yards from the near side corner flag. Start the clock. Keep giving up real estate. Schleister doesn't care.
No, clock's still going. Perfect if you're Campbell. You'll just keep playing volleyball all day long.
Kamara again, 25 yards. Getting to the ball first. Miles Russell sends it clear.
You said, not sure you're going to get another chance now. This is going to be last chance saloon if you are Grayson.
Callan Freeman going long. First to get there. Flick header goes backward. Edge of the 18. Nardello chip through the goal mouth. Near side, edge of the 18. Push back, shot, point blank save, and wide. And that's going to do it.
They got a chance for this corner. No.
No. 2-1. Not happening. Troy Connolly, head coach for Campbell, hugging anybody and everybody he could find. It's almost like he's having his Jim Valvano moment from the pit in Albuquerque. And the 2 seed out of Region 3 wins their 5th game in the postseason, which translates into a state title, knocking off number 1 Grayson, 1-0.
And John, today's player of the game.
Who is it?
By Academy Sports and Outdoors. Who do you think it is? Okay, it's Gavin Banks.
There you go.
It's Gavin Banks from Campbell. Gavin Banks, who provides the goal that is the difference this evening. Whew. I know, John, you said you had goosebumps. Ooh. I did too. Gavin Banks, who has played all over the place for Troy Connolly this year. He's used him as a winger. He's used him as a striker, as a number 10. He's used him on the back line. He has answered the call all year long, Gavin Banks has. And Gavin Banks answered the call tonight with the cutback cross to him. And in the moment that mattered most, he put it in the back of the net. And because of that, GHSA for a state championship trophy is going to Windy Hill Road.
Connolly goes over to the cooler. He's getting some water.
He'll be getting a lot of water pretty soon.
He's going to be on top of him, I think, more than anything else.
He's going to get more water than he bargained for if he's not careful.
The Campbell flag has made it from the student section out onto the field. But you cannot say enough about the defending for Campbell, especially after the goal was scored. You had mentioned it was going to be, you're going to have to suffer.
Yep.
Campbell suffered and came out the other side as state champs in 6A.
The thing that I'm so happy about watching them in this sense, John, is in those last 14 minutes, they didn't try not to lose. Talked about it a little bit, but you didn't shell up. You didn't go into a shell. You didn't invite Grayson into the game, because I think if you had done that, it would have been very dangerous. You would have gotten more moments like you had in the last 10 seconds where you asked Eric Clay to make an amazing point-blank save. Now, it's at him, but it's at point-blank range with pace, and he makes the save on it. You would have had to make more saves like that. But they took the initiative. They didn't get scared. They didn't try not to lose. They thought and they felt and they showed they belonged on the field with the number one team in the state, and they proved it because Campbell's about to go pick up that trophy.
They're going to spend time.
They already have it.
They're going to spend time with the student section and the flag. Trophy is theirs. Somebody track down Troy Connolly and figure out where he is.
Good luck. He's got the trophy in hand. He's wandering around midfield.
So on the girls' side, we go to penalties. Two of the top teams in the state, two of the top teams in the country.
Oh. Troy Connolly's about to get a bath.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. So Andrew Balakun is bringing the cooler over.
Of all the people, Andrew Balakun has the right to do that. He put his body on the line out there for that team.
They're going to get their picture made as state champs.
And I know Connolly wanted to get some water. He's about to get a lot of water.
Yeah, he won't have to worry about being hydrated.
No. Good luck
I think J.C. Carpenter, well, I was going to say maybe J.C. Carpenter would finish the deal and bring the cooler over, but he's going to be a part of the pictures. But you can't say enough about what Eric Clay did between the sticks. The back five that was there, which was a formation change, which helped them in the previous round. They stuck with it to go up against the very physical nature.
And how about the moment from Trey Klein? Because Trey Klein provides that game-winning assist, a freshman.
Yeah.
Freshman's out there in a state championship game. First of all, full marks to Danny Muhick because the save on the initial shot.
Full extension, absolutely.
World-class save. But then a true freshman in Trey Klein gets that ball, doesn't panic, plays the cutback ball perfectly to Gavin Banks, who puts it in the back of the net.
And back to the student section with the trophy.
And Cobb County's going to be insufferable tonight, in general.
Walton wins 6A on the girls' side over Buford. Campbell upsets Grayson on the boys' side here at McEachern.
You want to have some fun next year? Go to the Windy Hill Cup.
Oh, there you go.
They're going to let Osborne hear about this one for years.
No doubt about it. For Ian Russell, for Johnny Doherty on the ones and twos. It was fun, my partner.
It was.
For Jarrett Smith, I'm John Nelson. 6A title games in the books. Cobb County, they're both yours for the 2025 season. For everybody here at the NFHS Network and everybody here at McEachern who put on a fantastic show, thanks for hanging out with us. Go watch PKs with Marist and Westminster. It's a separate broadcast, and there's your dump. There's the dunk right there. That's your perfect note. Connolly got the bath. We're out the door. Enjoy the 6A title, everybody.